Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxie Frank, and this is my team builder and battle for Week 8 of Season 8 of the National Pokeball League Majors. This week I am playing Gypsy King, aka Dylan, coach of the Sydney Sharpedos. So Gypsy King is very good at Pokemon, as many of you know. Most people think that he is the best at League format, and I also do. And, you know, that just makes this a very scary matchup, at least player-wise, just me versus him. And then his team makes that even more terrifying. So I'll just read off his roster, mine on screen. The roster I had last week is the same one I have this week. So my roster is finalized for the season, not making any more transactions. So this will be my team for the rest of the season too. So Gypsy's team, I'll just read off it on screen. I have it in order. Yeah, it'll be in different order when it's up on your screen. But I'm just gonna read off in this order of speed, not in the draft order, but whatever. So he's got a Slugor, Nihilego, Garchomp, Mega Medicham, Suicune, Mandibuzz, Aegislash, Clefable, Abomasnow, Vileplume, Quagsire, and Duosion. So 12 mons on his team, which makes that scary, even more mons to prep for. And he has an Aegislash. So for some reason people voted to allow that. I voted to ban it, so I made a smart decision. Some people voted to allow it. I don't. Oh my god, those. I mean, like, of course you're saying that now, and especially that Gypsy got it. Yeah, now are saying it's broken. I voted to ban it in the first place. But, you know, not everyone else did, and most people voted to allow it. Which, I mean, I sort of get in terms of just wanting to test things out, but this was not the most fun toy to test out. So, I mean, there are also people that thought about banning King Shield and then allowing Aegislash without King Shield. So I thought it would have been cool, but then some people were like, you know, that's too specific of a rule, and they don't like rules like that, and I thought that'd actually be really nice, but whatever. It's not how it worked out. He has Aegislash, and it does get King Shield, so scary Aegislash. But you know, I feel like I've pressed some things around it, and I have a team that can deal with his as best as I can. I say that because this matchup's still just kind of tricky. I think this matchup is not unwinnable, like some people that have faced him think. And I think that I can build my way out of this, but this is going to be even trickier because, well, while, you know, this matchup is not great, it's not, like, terrible, really. Aegislash does not just completely murder and wreck my team. I do have some answers to it, like Crocodile, Arcanine. You know, they're both pretty good answers, actually. So, I do have some ways around that Aegislash. So, innately, it's not as big of a threat as it is in some other matchups he's had. So, that's good for me, but it's still a huge threat. He's got a lot of other big threats, like Mega Medicham, like Garchomp. Slugor could be a threat. It's still just offensive and fast and annoying. Nihilego could be scary. Mandibuzz is so fat. It's like it's surprisingly fat. That thing takes hits so well, and it's hard to beat and hard to kill. Suicune's so fat, and with Rest Talk and potentially Calm Mind or Roar, it's even harder to beat. Clefable is tough. I mean, it's really tough to beat Clef and Suicune, at least super easily, because you can't just slap on Toxic, because Suicune can rest, and I'm assuming Clefable is going to be Match Guard in this matchup. I don't think it needs to be Unaware. It could be if he's like scared of like setup Fundy or Mew or Virizion or something, but I think Match Guard is better overall. But I could be wrong there. But as I was sort of saying earlier, so I think I can build my way out of this matchup, but it is difficult. But then it's still going to be very hard to win this game, because Gypsy, he's also going to build a very solid team and kind of prevent me from building out of this matchup, because he's also going to build a very solid team from his end. And then he also, if you just watch his games, like in almost every game, he just dominates, and he's just in the position of power, in the position of control most of the game. He just takes the game early and just controls it throughout. And that's really tricky to combat, because even coaches, like everyone that plays him builds a good team and builds things for it and plans things out. It's not like they were building bad teams. They're building cohesive teams that make sense. But he still just gets that early advantageous position and is off to a strong foot most of the time. And that's hard to combat, but if I make a specific plan early to try to beat that, it can work, but it's also hard to make a specific plan that's general enough to work with everything. That can still get me in a good spot early, which makes this tricky. But I feel like I have some tricks up my sleeve and some good things this game. So first, I'm actually going to go over what I expect from Gypsy's end, because I did a fair amount of building from his perspective of this, and then even mock myself with with his team versus what I had at the time. Just with the with using his team on incognito tabs, I basically have two browsers open, and then just kind of mock myself, which I found kind of helpful, just to allow me to play through some scenarios and some theoretical situations I'd be in. Not that helpful in terms of mind games and 50-50s, because I'm not actually playing another player, I'm playing myself, but I felt like it was still helpful just to allow me to understand game flow and how I think this could go, and what I need around for what, and maybe some EVs and some movesets I need. But basically, one of these first two teams really what I expect. I expect these first five really just Mandy, Suicune, Chomp, AG, Medi, and then either Nihiliga or Clef. I said this is the expected team and this is alternative, but as I was kind of mocking myself some more, I kind of think this is a little bit better from his end. I'll just go over it quickly. Just Fat and Mandibuzz to Spit F, so we can take 2 Hurricanes from Modest Mega Pidgeot. The EVs on Suicune were kind of arbitrary, but just Roar Talcoon is pretty good. Stealth Rocks, Garchomp with SD, 2 attacks. Hits really hard and it's really scary versus me. This kind of Spit F, but also pretty offensive. AG with just Dual Stab, King Shield, Toxic is really effective. Then I feel like he might bring some kind of trick on his Medi, something like this. I don't know how offensive he'll be, because he likes to bring kind of weird Medis that are pretty bulky and not that offensive, but I don't really know. I'm just gonna, at least on this, I'm just gonna say offensive. And he could bring something like Toxic and Facade, that way he can Toxic my Mew and get it synchronized, so he'll be poisoned, and then Facade does a lot. And then I think a Fizz Def Clef with knockoff Calm Mind Moonblast is really scary too. So that's basically what I expect from him. Then this team's pretty much the same. Like I have Ground MZ on this Garchomp, and then this is a little bit different of the Medi set. It's a little bulkier than it's bulk up. And then same AG. And then this is Scarf Nihiligo. I think Scarf Nihiligo is pretty likely if it is Scarfed. That way he can outspeed my Mega Pidgeot and have something that's faster than that, because otherwise, I outspeed his whole team with Mega Pidgeot, which is nice. This is it's another option of the team, but I don't think this team's quite as effective. This is what I saw in a mock from Adam. He did bring a Bomb Stone, so that was scary. Let me just go to my team now. So, first off, we got Mega Pidgeot. I mentioned it earlier, and it is a big threat this game, as it does outspeed his whole team naturally, barring a Selgor, that is. So that is really nice. And if Selgor does come, I can take his front pretty well. I'm invested, so I can actually live. No, never mind. I'm not invested anymore, so I can live hits from myself. I was before, but I changed my investment around a little bit. But my speed is just so I can outspeed max speed Tim and Nihiligo, just to make sure I can outspeed the next fastest thing on his team. I'm not going to try to get cute with any creeping there. I just want to make sure I can outspeed that guy. Don't want to get too over aggressive, especially because I do have Thundurus right below that at 101, which will probably be creeping. So no need to get super aggressive with my creeping there, but it does still leave me enough. I don't need that many EVs to where I can be modest. So that's what I'm trying to say there. Then with this bulk that I have here, with the 60 defense and 160 HP, I can actually live a +1 Dragon Claw from Garchomp after I take rocks, or just a like 1 Outrage from neutral. So that is really nice. Just gives me some more bulk and potentially another switch in. This team doesn't have a great switch into Garchomp, but also not too much is threatened out by Garchomp. So that's kind of why I don't have as good of a switch in, but also my rosters don't really have a very good switch into Garchomp in general, so yikes. And then, I have 56 in special attack and modest, so I can hit pretty hard. Hurricane and Power Ground hits his whole team, really. I could have carried Heat Wave for 80 slash, but I didn't feel like I need to. And I like Roost and Defog in its last 2 move slots, and I don't think I want to waste a move slot carrying Heat Wave. Well, not waste, but I don't think I need it, and I think Power Ground still does enough to where I can be okay. Roost, it allows me to stay healthy, and is really nice, as I can use this to switch into some things early and not be super scared of Pidgeot getting weakened. Defog, really nice, just in case if he brings any hazard stack, like the spikes from a Slugcore or T-spikes from Nihiligo, which are actually very scary versus this team, because I'm not bringing Full Fish, and 4 out of my 6 mons are susceptible to T-spikes, so having Defog and Pidgeot is really nice, and also it can Defog versus it can Defog versus some of his rockers, like Clefable, and then potentially Garchomp if I can scare it out, or maybe Nihiligo, but probably not, because that thing kind of beats me. But my previous investment, which is like just this 60 was in Spit F, I could live a Power Gem from full, if it was just like Scarf Nihiligo. And also if he's like the speed boosting set, I believe I'm guaranteed to live a Power Gem actually, so that's really nice. So even though I'm weak to that Power Gem, it still is not opening me, which is great. Next, you got my Scarf Zygarde here. This is a counter to his Scarfed Nihiligo, or a speed boost Nihiligo if he's at +1. So this is really nice. It does allow me to outspeed that, as well as a Salgor, so it does give me something to outspeed that, as well as some other things like Scarfed Abomasnow, Scarf Garchomp, any other weird Scarfers like Scarf Clefable. And then also, if he brings Vileplume and brings Chlorophyll, then I can outspeed any Vileplume in the sun, so that's good. I don't expect that, but that's just another potential thing, and this is a good safety valve in case if that is a big threat to my team. So this is just really nice. It doesn't hit very hard to is Scarf. I did consider changing it to Band, but I was still fearing Scarf Nihilego or Scarf Garchomp. I wanted to make sure I have something to outspeed that and check that, especially as he might not expect this to be Scarfed, especially because it doesn't hit very hard. So he might think I want to be Banded or Life Orb or something to give me some more power. So he might not expect Scarf, but hopefully Scarf can catch him off guard and maybe slip him up a bit. So Scarf is just really nice to just give me some more speed and just make me feel a little bit more comfortable in terms of not getting swept by Scarfer in the late game. So you know, I've EQ and arrows to hit everything. If Mandibuzz is gone, then I can just click EQ freely. That's why I have both. But if Mandibuzz is there, I do want to be clicking arrows. Outrage is there in case if Clef and Aegislash are gone, or if Aegislash is really low, or if I'm not threatened by Clef coming in. Like if I think Mandibuzz or Suicune's coming in, then I can go for Outrage, and you know then he can pivot back into Clef. But still, Outrage is just nice power. And then E-Speed in case if Medi is like Bullet Punch or something, or even like a Bomb Snow could have Ice Shard. So I just want to make sure I can outspeed those. Or if something has multiple speed boosts, like if Isalgor has like an agility up or something. I don't really expect that, but still E-Speed could be helpful for that. And I don't really need a fourth move. I consider it like something like Iron Tail or Toxic, but I don't think I need either. I don't think either is too practical to be used, so I think E-Speed's better just in case. Then next we got my Virizion here. Also the speed on Zygarde, it's just same as Pidgeot. It's speed from Nihilego. So next we got my Virizion right here. So this Virizion outspeeds the next fastest thing on his team, which is Garchomp. Not Nihilego. I'm creeping Garchomp, which is one below, so not a big deal. But I mean, they'll both probably be creeping Thunders anyways, so I should be able to outspeed both, so it's not a big deal. And even then, the Nihilego could be Scarf, so. But this Virizion is Energy Ball, Calm Mind, Taunt, and Synthesis there. So this is a pretty bulky Virizion. This is a pretty nice mod versus his team. And if Mandibuzz is gone, this thing might be able to set up for something like Clefable, which he probably would expect to beat this. As long as he's Magic Guard not unaware, but if he is unaware, then I can just Toxic with other things on my team, so that's good. But I could set up for something like that, or maybe Suicune. And if Mandibuzz is gone, then I could potentially just clean up. You know, he could have the Aegislash in the back, but I'm not really threatened by Aegislash, and this is really a check to Aegislash, as I do not expect a physical Aegislash, as I have 3 Intimidators, so I don't think he wants to go physical. And I mean, with Crook and Arcanine both being pretty good checks to it too, and pretty likely switch-ins, I don't think he's going to want to bring a physical Aegislash. I think he'll go special. So this Virizion has good natural special bulk, so it can take Shadow Balls pretty well. It is invested. It was invested to live 2 Shadow Balls. Or no, yeah, it still can actually live 2 Shadow Balls from Life Orb Aegislash. That's with my leftovers. I had a little more bulk originally. That's why I'm getting a little bit confused. But I can still live 2 Shadow Balls from a Life Orb Aegislash, which is really nice. That is if he's modest too. I can live 2. That's with my leftovers. Then you know, I just said outspeeding Garchomp, and then I can actually live a Z Dragon Claw from Jolly Garchomp. So it's nice to have this bit of bulk, which allows me to take that hit and could potentially be a switch in or pivot into that. And then I can heal the following turn and take a Dragon Claw, and that won't do too much. Or no, still a normal Dragon Claw does around half, I think, depending on rolls. But still, with leftovers, I might be able to heal versus that. And then a Taunt is helpful versus Clefable, that way I can stop him from setting up versus me, and I can stop him from healing too. And it's just nice to allow me to beat some things 1v1, and also just to allow me to not let Suicune set up versus me, or roar me out or anything. Also, it's nice to stop Aegislash from King Shielding or Toxicking versus me, which could allow me just to spam my offensive move or to set up versus it and just beat it. So that way I don't have to worry about him healing at least every other turn, protecting versus me. That way I can taunt him, stop him from doing that, and then this is actually a pretty nice answer to the Aegislash, as long as I don't get poison on the switch end or at any other point. This could be a good check to that. Next we got my Mew, just a nice defensive Mew, pretty fat here. Not running much speed, just in case, speed just for general creeps. Or no, actually, no, I do have a thing that the speed's for, just for max speed, Jolly Bombs. No, just in case if he brings that, if he's that fast up, he's probably scarfed, but still, if he's not, or maybe I knock off a scarf, which is possible, then I want to make sure I can outspeed that, or just any general speed creeps, like if Suicune's is creeping no speed Mew or like 4 speed Mew, then I can outspeed that, so that's nice. The set Taunt, Roost, Iron Head, and Knockoff. Iron Head's a little bit weird, but it is something with Clefable, because Calm Mind Clefable is a huge threat to this team, and I want to have something to actually hit it for some decent damage, as originally on this set, I had Will-O-Wisp in that slot, and that meant if he's Magic Art Clef, which I expect him to be, then I can't really hit a Calm Mind Clef for any damage. His Knockoff does like 6% after he does like 8% or 8 or 9 with his leftovers, and like 5 or 6 when he doesn't have them. So I mean, I can taunt him, but I have to Roost a lot, and I have to knock off, and that's not doing much. And I'm not beating that thing very easily, and I want to have something to hit it harder, that I can pressure the Clef more. Scare it out, hopefully force in something like the Mandibuzz or Suicune, which I can knock off their items, which is helpful late game for my Zygarde, or even my Virizion. And this thing can taunt the Mandibuzz, stop it from healing, stop it from defogging, which is nice. And I mean, I originally did a Willow, which was pretty nice, but I think Iron Head could be more useful if Clef is Calm Mind and is really scary versus my team, which I don't have the best ways around. I did add some things in, and I do have some ways of dealing with it and pressuring it, but Clef is pretty scary versus the team I'm bringing, so I feel like Iron Head was worth it in that last slot there. Or, well, I guess third, but really the last slot, because I pretty much already had knockoff in. So the defense here, so it can live 2 double edges from Jolly and Mega Medicham, as with my leftovers. You know, he could be Jolly and could be. I think he will be Jolly just for the speed, because he wants to make sure he can outspeed my Crook. And he could bring Double Edge to try to just break through my Mew, as if I'm not super defensive, this isn't max, so it's not that fat. Then he could just he could just try to break through me with Double Edge, and Double Edge does do a lot. So that is scary. Medicham hits so hard, it is ridiculous how hard that thing hits. But the Spadaf here is so I can live 2 Sludge Waves from a timid life or beneath Lego. That is nice too, gives me some good physical bulk and special bulk as well to take hits from a variety of mons on this team, and it's just a pretty nice pivot and pretty nice general fat mon for a lot of things on this team. Cannot really hit the Garchomp too hard, but I'm not really planning to stay in on that, and I can at least taunt him and stop him from getting up to +4 if he Sword Senses once versus me, so that is helpful. And it is just a nice Mew, as it's fat and good, and I need to move a little bit quicker. Next, we got my Figgyberry Crocodile here with Knockoff, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and Earthquake. This thing can take hits from H-Slash pretty well. This is my main H-Slash tech. Originally, I was a Sleep Talk set because I didn't want to fear Toxics, but I felt like Sleep Talk just wasn't that effective versus him, and I feel like I needed more move slots, and I like Stealth Rocks, but I didn't like Rocks on a Sleep Talk set. So Knockoff Rocks, Toxic, EQ. This thing has the special defense and HP to lift 2 Flash Cannons for max special attack, a modest H-Slash. That is really nice there, as I can take 1, take another, then the second will put me in Figgy. I'll be back at like 51, like 55 or so. I mean, that'll come down to rolls to how much I live on, but still I'll be probably in my 50s, and then can still take another hit from that or from something else too, which is nice. And the attack is just, yeah, I just through the rest from there is first. It's just kind of arbitrary. It's not anything, but like the attack investment isn't for anything. It's just the rest of my investment in attack there. Then the speed is so I can outspeed Suicune if he's creeping max speed Adamant Metagross. So if he brings a fairly speedy Suicune, I can outspeed that. Just gives me some general speed. Also, if anything else wants to creep me like a Mandibuzz, maybe I can hopefully get up a Toxic and stop him from taunting me or something, and I can get up Rocks, and hopefully. I don't think I'll bring Defog, and if he does, that's kind of okay with me, as that means he loses a move slot. I expect from Mandibuzz, U-Turn, Roost, then the last 2 moves, Knockoff and Brave Bird, really. So I don't think he has room to carry Defog. I think he wants Knockoff, just knock off items and just be general annoyance. Maybe Foul Play in that slot, but he'll definitely want some kind of Dark Stab there. And then I think he will want Brave Bird to be able to hit Virizion, otherwise Virizion does wall him. I mean, like, he can pivot out versus that, but that is one of his main answers to the Virizion, so if he does not bring Brave Bird, then my Virizion is actually a really big threat to his team and could set up and be very scary. So that's why I do expect Brave Bird, but you know, he might opt to bring Defog instead. So Last slot we got my Thunderous Tier, T-Bolt, Flash Cannon, Grass on HP Ice, just fast, offensive, hits hard, pretty good breaker versus him. The same speed, it outspeeds, wait, no. Okay, I put the wrong thing in here, I think, because, yeah, no. It outspeeds, Mega Medicham. I forgot to change what my speed was. Originally I was modest, that's why, I have a different thing on my notes here, but I'm timid now, so I can outspeed the Mega Medicham. Because I was creeping a different thing originally, that's not what I'm creeping now. So yeah, the bulk is so I can live a +1 Dragon Claw or a neutral Outrage from Jolly Garchomp from full. That way I can take that hit and then go for Hidden Power Ice and either knock him out or do a lot and leave him very low, which is very helpful. And this thing just has good coverage to his entire team. T-Bolt and Flash Cannon does a lot, and Flash Cannon covers some of his likely switch-ins like Nihilego, like Clefable. Grass Knot is just covered in case if Quagsire comes. I don't really expect it too much, but I still feel like I need some coverage for it and can't totally ignore it, so I want something for it here. And then Hidden Power Ice is for Garchomp, so just good coverage there on the Thunderous. The Steelium Z is to allow me to pressure the Clefable more, or the Nihilego. Probably on a switch, because I'm probably not staying in versus that, but I can actually Oko a Clefable with a Z Flash Cannon, and if he's at +1, I still do around 70%, so if I can not blow it early and make sure I use it at the right time, this could be really effective. So this Thunderous could be a very powerful Mon versus his team. And overall, I'm liking the team. I feel like it is about as best as I can do, and I feel like it gives me a chance to win. I will need some things to go my way. I will need to play this properly, but if I can stop him from toxicating my mons, if I can taunt him and weaken him down and stop him from healing, and get things in range of Zygarde late game, or my Virizion in a position to Calm Mind and Sweep late game, I feel like I definitely have a chance. I just need to play this outright, be careful, and be smart. So I feel like this team gives me a chance, and we'll see. Let's get in the battle in just a second. Alright guys, so I'm back with the battle as you can see here. So I'm bringing these 6 that I just went over, which are my Mega Pidgeot, my Zygarde 10%, my Virizion, Mew, Crocodile, and Thunderous T, while Gypsy brings, for the most part, what I expect, but a little bit different, as he does bring the Bomb Snow. So he brings, with the AG, the Mandy, Garchomp, and Clef, which I definitely expected, and then the Nihilego too, which I probably expected too. But I thought it'd be one of these two, and then Mega Medicham in the Bomb Snow slot, and then he would have Suicune instead in one of these slots, either Clef or Nihilego. But he does have to bring the Bomb Snow and no Medi, so no Medi is interesting. But I feel like it does make sense from his perspective, as he knows I'm going to bring something for the Medi, and he figures that me bringing things for Medi and me not being super Medi weak will leave me more susceptible to other mons on this team and things like a Bomb Snow. So that was pretty smart prep on his team, but still, I feel like even though I did bring Mew, did do what I can for Medi, Medi's still so scary. But I'm just going to leave my Mega Pidgeot here so I can pressure his team immediately and get off damage or something. And I'm just going to leave it and go right for a Hurricane, do a decent chunk, but not that much, which shows that he's pretty bulky. He goes for a Devastating Drake, and Oko's me. So not a great turn one, but this shows he is a Z Outrage. A Z Dragon Claw would not kill me there, even if he's adamant. It does not kill me. So that was good prep. Or Jolly definitely doesn't kill me. I'm pretty sure Adamant definitely doesn't kill me. I forget the exact calc, but I'm almost certain Adamant doesn't kill me. Or if it does, it had to be like really high roll, but I don't think Adamant kills me. So it had to be Z Outrage there, so that shows he has Outrage, which is good information to have, but still it's very scary versus my team, versus the team that I'm bringing. Outrage is pretty spammable, pretty good versus my team. I'm not bringing my Dragon Resist or my Dragon Immunity in Wigglytuff, so yeah, he can spam Outrage pretty freely, which is scary, but we know he's not Scarf, which is good, and I got off some damage, but that shows that he's pretty bulky. And with the bulk and the offense he has, that means that my Thunderous can outspeed this thing, so I am max speed pretty much. So I'm just going to bring in Thundy, and here, this is kind of a 50-50, because I thought he might stay in, and might just want to sack off Garchomp to make a safe play, because I don't know how bulky his Nihilego is, or how bulky his Clef is. So I just want to, or maybe he could even go hard Age Slash on like a Hidden Power Ice or Flash Cannon or something. So I was debating what to click here. I wanted to click Flash Cannon, or maybe even see Flash Cannon on the incoming Nihilego, but that wouldn't Oko, not quite. So I'm just going to make the safe play go for Hidden Power Ice. I thought he might want to sack this off, as it's kind of already done its job. It's used his Z move, although The more I thought about it after the game, it was absolutely his play to preserve that, as he's a pretty safe switch into the Thunder. Something that outspeeds it, and even if I'm Scarf, he can take 2 flash cannons. 2 hidden power grounds, it might be able to take 2 because Nihil goes fat. Or even if it doesn't take 2, he can see the first one and pivot out into Mandy or something. But I mean, he still wanted to guard jump around to get up those rocks, and still it pressures my team. I just thought he might not want to round as it does get outsped by Zygarde, Virizion, Thundy. Well, pitch out's gone. Potentially Mew, he doesn't know my Mew set, and then potentially Crocodile if I'm like max speed, but probably not Croc, but still gets outsped by 3/4 of my Mons. Only 3 because my Mew is not fast, but still could have been because he does not know my speed yet. But I'm just going to bring in Mew as he goes right for a power jump thing. Yes, safe play, power jump. Doesn't do much, shows that he's fairly offensive. I think it shows he's probably the speed boosting set. So I'm just going to ride for a knockoff, pretty safe place. I knock off something's item. In comes Mandy. I knock off its helmet, so good that I got it. Good that he does not have his helmet anymore, but bad that took damage from it. He's just going to ride for the foul plays. I bring in Crook. I'm just going to go right for rocks immediately. He clicks another foul play. I'm okay if he wants to keep doing this and weakening me down, as that'll put me in figure range eventually, as I do Toxic him, and he shows a Defog. So, interesting set so far. We've seen Defog and Foul Play, so I'm assuming Roost on there, and then probably U-Turn in that last slot. If not U-Turn, then Brave Bird. So, that means he only has one of those 2 moves. So that's pretty good for me. I'm expecting him to have the U-Turn, though, and I think he has to have Roost. So, no Brave Bird, most likely. So, that's kind of interesting, but as I said earlier, it does make some sense if he really wants Defog, and with him having the Bomb Snow makes some more sense. But I just thought he might want to have Brave Bird because Virizion is a threat. He does have some other checks to Virizion, like his Bomb Snow. We'll find out later actually is Scarf, so that does help him there. And then still Clef is a pretty good answer to Virizion, but so is Age Slash, which does take hits naturally, but doesn't really beat the set that I have. So I'm just going to, I think I switch out here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go right into Thundy. I can hopefully pressure him. As I thought I might go for another foul play, but he does show the U-turn there. As he brings in Nihiligo immediately, I'm just going to go right and do Zygarde, as he might try to double or something, or I'm just going to try to not let my Mew get too weakened versus this, and try to just vary my switch-ins versus this. That way it's not super predictable and super obvious, but also, you know, there's a chance he goes, like he predicts a Mew and doubles into Mandy or something. I could maybe threaten him with a Toxic. I don't have Toxic, but still. Or he could also just, like, go into Age Slash on this, or on the predicted double into Mew. So I thought this was a viable play, and also still this was a very safe switch into the Nihiligo most likely. So I thought it was fine. I'm just gonna go right for the arrows. It knows it's not gonna do much to something like Clef. As Clef comes in, shows its Fizz Def, and choose that. I'm just gonna go right back in my Mew, as Mew can take the Moonblast and can threaten this thing a little bit. I can at least taunt him and stop him from getting up rocks of his own, stopping him from Calm Minding, as he just goes right for the knockoff. I don't know if he predicted the taunt or not, but still, knockoff was a pretty safe play either way. So I have to Roost right here as he goes right into Mandy. So this is not looking great for me, but I do know Clef is knockoff and Moonblast. Could be the exact set that I had with knockoff, Moonblast, U-turn, and knockoff U-turn. I keep saying U-turn. Knockoff, Moonblast, Calm Mind, and Soft Boiled. So it could be that set, which would be scary. But we are getting intel on the Clef. We know it's Fizz Def. So I Roost as he brings in Mandy. I go for Iron Head, maybe get a flinch. I don't. Then he U-turns and brings in Garchomp, which is scary because I don't really have anything to hit Garchomp on this Mew. I only have Iron Head knockoff. As at this point, he has seen my full set, which is Taunt, Knockoff, Roost, and Iron Head. So can't really hit this too hard, and he knows that. So I'm just gonna what are we going to do? Thundy. Because Thundy can take a hit and outspeed this thing as he goes right for rocks, which I thought he would, and that is scary and bad. As I do predict the Nihiligo to come in, and he go right for the Corkscrew Crash, and he still lives that because he is Assault Vest, by the way, as you saw from the damage. From my Hand Power Ice earlier, which did nothing. So I go for Flash Gun here, doesn't kill, he does live still fairly comfortably, and I'm just gonna sack off Thunders. I could I could force him to defog with Mandy there, but I don't think Thunders is that valuable, so, and it is poison, so I'm just gonna bring in Crook here. This is a pretty silly play. I knew he wasn't Scarf, like, I mean, we saw him change up moves also from the damage. I knew he was Assault Vest, so I knew he could change up moves, and like, I acknowledged Grass Knot, and I fully considered it, and like, I don't know, like, I think I even had it pulled up on the calc as I had Crocodile there, and I saw it killed, but I just, like, I don't know exactly what happened in my brain there. I just kind of had a brain fart and just made a kind of silly play there. I was just thinking, I think, like, as soon as Thundy, like, I already ran the calc, and I'd looked at things, but maybe I didn't have that exact calc open at the time, but as soon as Thundy went down, then I was like, okay, let's just bring Crook. I can click Knockoff and something, and even if Mandy comes in, I can Toxic. Or if Clef comes in, I can get rid of that lefties. And I think I was thinking more ahead and trying to plan out, but I didn't bring in the Mon that could threaten out what he had now, or kill what he had now. Well, it could kill, but it couldn't live a hit first. So that was a bad play. Now he's also at +2 speed, so he will outspeed my Zygarde at this point, so that's bad. Thankfully, my Mew and Verizon can both live a hit, so I can bring in either. I'm just going to bring in Mew, which can still live this hit. I'm going to try to Roost this off as he gets crit, so that's bad and annoying. I was going to try to Roost there. He's still doing around like 30%, and he'll probably get a poison eventually, so I was probably not going to be able to Roost and get too healthy. He's doing like, I think 30-35%. Around there, and he'll probably get a poison eventually, so as it is 30% chance. So I was going to try to Roost and just keep roosting and get as high as I can and try to keep Mew fairly healthy and then try to knock out the Nihilego. So that's what I was planning to do, but he did get the crit, which did make it really hard to win at this point. Now I'm down 6-2 and I don't have, if I still had Mew, I still had somewhat of a defensive backbone on this team and could still do something, probably not win, but still threaten him a little bit more and have something to deal with a lot of his mons, and to give me some kind of a chance to at least fight back in this game. It gets more differential, but no, you got credit, so that's kind of sad. As I'm gonna bring Virizion, which can live a hit. I'm pretty bulky, as I do live that, and he gets a poison too, which doesn't affect anything, but still it's just kind of salt in the wound. But Virizion picks up the kill, so that's nice. Brings in Abomasnow here, as he outspeeds me, so we see it is Scarfed, so that's kind of cool prep. I did type in the chat there, not a 6-0. I realized I meant to say hashtag not a 6-0, but I typed at not a 6-0. That's not what I meant to say. But I bring my Scarf as Zygarde, I go for Outrage. Does not kill, he goes for Blizzard and knocks me out. So we lose this game 5-0. Not a 6-0, I guess. GG though, Gypsy, he prepped very well and played very well, so can't really be too mad at that. The crit versus Mew was unfortunate. I don't think I win, but it would at least not make this game seem as dominant as it was, because I could have fought back a little more. What he was trying to do was sack off his Nihilego, then bring in his Aegislash, which was Autotomize, and I think Weakness Policy too. And I think that's what he said. And that's scary, as you know, he can take the hit, as he's still in King Shield, or as he's still in Shield form. Take the hit, even if it's super effective, and chew that, and then get the weakness policy boost, and then Autotomize and be scary. And yikes, my Virizion still could have lived one hit at that point, but what probably would have happened, my Mew goes for knockoff, and then he lives with Aegislash, and then goes for Autotomize, and then knocks out Mew, and then in comes Virizion, which does a little bit hit, and then can Energy Ball and does a chunk, but not enough, and then he can 2-kill me, and then I bring in Zygarde, which, although I think Zygarde would outspeed him though, because I'm at +1, but I'm a lot faster than him anyway, so. Unless maybe he sets up again versus my Virizion, or even my Mew gets to ×3 speed, or +4, same thing. He could have done that, but I don't know if he would have predicted Scarf. Zygarde would have been that scared of it. So I maybe could have picked the kill versus Aegislash and made a 4-0, but he could have also just played it safe, maybe fearing or no, yeah, he did see his damage, saw it wasn't banded, so. He might have been suspecting Scarf, so he could have potentially even just switched out from AG and do Mandy or Clef at that point, or even a Abomasnow. But either way, it is what it is. It went how it went. So these last few weeks haven't gone too well. Lost 6-0, lost 4-0, lost 5-0. So you know, not the best. Not loving it. But we are 2-6 right now, so that is not good. I guess better than 0-8 or 1-7, so relatively we take those, but relative to my expectations going into the season, we don't take those. So, I'm not mathematically eliminated from playoffs yet, I believe, so that is something. I have a very small chance of making playoffs when you consider my -17 differential. Yikes. But, you know, when there's a will, there's a way, and I don't know if there is a will, but I'm not giving up these last 2 weeks. I still have to fight for relegation. If I win my last 2, I should be able to avoid relegation. If I lose one of them, then I probably get relegated, which is bad. I'm not certain if I'm coming back next season regardless, but either way, I don't want to be in this spot that would get relegated, so that's not a good time. So, you know, I would like to win and not be in the relegation spot. But Relegation Nation, it is a place that I'm starting to take some pride in, as I'm starting to dig my hole further into it. But next week I play David. Following week I play Cheese. After that, my season is done, unless by miracle I make playoffs. I mean, I'm not giving up by any means. I'm still gonna try my teams. I don't know if I'm gonna try as much. And I'm not meaning that in like a I don't want to win. I'll just play my game and lose, whatever kind of way. I mean, maybe I'm over trying, or like I think I'm like not over prepping or like overthinking too much, but just like I don't think the amount of time I'm putting into it is quite worth it and quite even benefiting me. Like if I put less time in my team, that might help me, or just like I'm kind of thinking about some things too much, or maybe I mean like this is a very competitive league and I think I need to think a lot, but so far, or at least the past few weeks, it hasn't been helping me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just like take a step back and try to take a simpler approach. Maybe I don't know. I haven't really built much at this point for that game. So I don't know. That'll go up on Saturday. Major PL, Major Brooklyn League Season 6 goes up on Friday. Week 1, I'm playing Melantosh. That'll go up on this coming Friday, so 6 days from now. That is exciting. I hope you guys are excited for that. I know I'm really excited for that. I've not played that game yet, but I'm excited to do that. So that should be fun. This was actually my first time playing Gypsy, and didn't go the best, but I did at least pick up 1 kill. Way to go for Izzion. So GG to my good pal Gypsy King. He's a very nice guy. He's the best. He is the best in the format. So check him out. He makes good videos and has a beautiful accent that just makes him even better at Pokemon. He's just the man. He's just a guy, and he's also really nice and just a great dude. So check him out. He's awesome. And I'll see you guys next week with Battle vs. David. So either Friday for NPL or Saturday for this NPL game. So I'll see you guys then. That didn't come out. That's kind of not English for a second. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.